Lewis here. I want to share a message with you folks on a topic that is super important and dear to me. It's a topic that I've been kind of afraid, admittedly, to post and talk about openly because of a lot of reasons. Fear of judgment, kind of because a lot of folks don't really understand this stuff and will be quick to make it something that it isn't, because this stuff can be misperceived as a party drug or a dangerous drug, whatever. But mushrooms, psychedelics, ayahuasca, plant medicine as I like to call them, because to me they truly are medicines. I use them for very therapeutic reasons in my past. They helped me be happy, free, sober, and who I am today. Finally stepping into my life of purpose, mental freedom, emotional freedom, all of that stuff. If anybody has known me personally, you know that I suffered with years of addiction, heroin addiction, cigarette addiction, overeating, video games, suppressing my emotions and numbing my anger was at the root of it all, I learned. I was always running from something uncomfortable. And I think a lot of folks with many different forms of addictions, if they're honest with themselves, they can agree it's a means to avoid discomfort, right? So, flashback to about 2010. These are rough numbers. It's been a long time. I had a near-death experience on heroin. I was a depressed junkie, and I was in that state of mind where I didn't really care if I died. I was in a low place. I lost everything that I had. I had a new car that I was new and young and foolish at dealing with the stressors of life, like paying bills, all that stuff. I had a breakup. I got really stressed up about that. I didn't know how to deal with these things emotionally. And I had an overdose. My first overdose. I had 2 overdoses in my life. And I had a really strange and profound out-of-body spiritual experience. If you look this stuff up, near-death experiences or NDEs, you can read about other folks' experience, or folks that were in a coma. They came out of their body, they objectively saw themselves, or they connected with God or spirit or the universe, saw the light, became the light, all that. What happened to me is I became one with God. I saw that God was love, God was energy, right? So that, and also had a message in that experience showing me that I can live a life of happiness, of purpose, that I actually was on earth for a purpose, because before I believed that I was just a victim to being alive, and that I was kind of dragging along and waiting to die, like a lot of people believe. Sad, right? I had a couple of mushroom and LSD experiences before that, but it was with the wrong setting and intention, and I was just experimenting, and I did have some pretty out there experiences with those, and I was really reminded with the near-death experience about how similar those experiences were. So in the future, after that near-death experience, I came back to mushrooms, ayahuasca, LSD, DMT a couple of times, but mostly with mushrooms. And I wanted to go deeper because I had a deep calling to go back to that medicine and explore myself. I had read a lot of stories on the internet about folks that were overcoming depression and alcoholism, addiction, mental health issues in a lot of different forms, right? So I wanted to see what plant medicine could do for me. And sure enough, I really did have some profound experiences. I spent a lot of time with the medicine in Fargo, North Dakota. I lived there for 5 years. I really wanted to get away, and I was from Southern California, and there's just a lot of stressors there, old triggers, old friends, old reminders, and things that just I needed to get away from and have a little bit of reset. And I had a lot of experiences with this stuff. I went into it always with that intention of, I want to learn about myself. I want to overcome my demons and my problems already, right? And it was just, going back to what I said about the near-death experience, mind-blowing how connected the spiritual experience from the near-death experience and the experiences that I had with plant medicine were. And I learned a little bit deeper that the meaning of that is because we have what's called the pineal gland. Some people call it the third eye, or the third eye chakra. The pineal gland secretes a hormone called DMT, or dimethyltryptamine. And this compound is in all of nature, actually. Research the great documentary called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. And DMT, or a slightly different version of DMT, I think it's something like NMDMT or something, is abundant in psilocybin, in mushrooms, basically what's known as magic mushrooms. So similar compounds in those medicines that are produced in our own brain. So that was the meaning of the connecting theme there. And that's kind of mind-blowing stuff, right? Like, wow, what's the meaning of all that stuff? I learned that basically I was running from pain my whole life. I got taken deep into some childhood experiences that I was suppressing and that I was afraid to ever revisit those memories. I was molested when I was a child. This is all stuff that's super new at me talking about, so be patient with me, folks. This is a tough one, but getting easier for me. I was shown that I could also let go of the anger that I had about that experience because I got shown the life experience and childhood experience of my abusers, of my ancestors. Plant medicine loves to show us the ancestral lineage behind why we are the way that we are. And it helps you understand the problem so that you can overcome it, and sometimes overcome the negative feelings that we have associated with those experiences. And that really did help free me up a bit. This stuff isn't a magic pill, it's important to note. I have to practice, I'm doing really well now. I could say that I'm doing pretty well with my emotional processing now, but it took practice over the course of several years to let go of anger, to let go of depression, to reprogram your brain. You've probably heard about this topic in the microdosing community or the mushroom or DMT or LSD community, ayahuasca, whatever. There's something called integration that we have to do afterwards. It's about applying those new messages that we get during the journey of the plant medicine into our everyday life. So, okay, now I need to catch my brain in the habit of the angry thoughts and reprogram a bit. Say, I'm not going to be angry, I'm going to be more compassionate and understanding. So, mushrooms showed me also the power of meditation. It really is a spirit talking to you. There's a spirit to this medicine. Weird, trippy, I know. It's hard to really conceptualize this stuff unless you try it yourself. So I'm not advising anybody to do anything. I'm just sharing my experience here. The spirits communicate to me, Lewis, you've got to clear your brain for mental health. Every morning, dedicate your morning and evening to meditation so that you can slow your thoughts down, connect with your breathing, and realize that we don't have to identify and work off of all of these toxic thoughts in the first place. Life changer for me, game changer. It also told me to go into yoga, to Tai Chi, to Qigong, to learn about Qi and my energy systems. I never even knew what this freaking stuff was. So before you go, oh, wow, Lewis is just talking about some pseudoscience, hippy-dippy nonsense now. I never used to appreciate this stuff or care about this stuff or even really know what it was and just would have laughed if somebody brought it up, right? So I can tell you now, 100% from my heart, that the chakras and the energy, that we're all made of energy, all that stuff is real, and I believe in it now. That's why I'm also a Reiki master now, and I teach folks about how to take care of their energy and their health and overall well-being. And I'm still learning on my own journey too, right? So it taught me about all that stuff. I started practicing yoga, started eating healthier. It showed me the importance of that. It told me to drink clean water. There's toxins in our water that calcify that pineal gland that's supposed to be the seat of our intuition in life, which can help us make better choices in the moment. Powerful stuff. I stuck with these habits. I felt amazing results over the course of 30 days, 60 days, even more 90 days. The first year was challenging. I quit cigarettes after my deeper exploration with plant medicine. I had already quit the opiates a couple years back, and I just started feeling better and better each year. And I said, I'm going to commit to this. And I also learned that, healing isn't a linear process. You have ups and downs. You have times and triggers in your life where you're reminded of old feelings or whatever. That's why the meditation and even journaling, I forgot to mention, is there as an everyday integrative process. I could write about my thoughts after I meditate, my emotional patterns of the day, why did I feel that way? What can I do about that? What kind of perspective can I bring into my life now that can help me shift that? Another solid point to mention about plant medicine is a perspective medicine. It shows you a perspective outside of your own normal frame of thinking, and that is powerful. It shows you through visions, messages from spirits or whatever, sometimes different extra dimensional beings and aliens, if you want to call them that. They give you messages, and they take you sometimes out of your body into different dimensional states of consciousness, especially with the higher doses. And they kind of have you surrender back and they show you an experience. So these experiences sometimes can catalyze change. In the personal training world, sometimes people don't come and realize that they need to start exercising and getting into a healthier eating routine until they have a heart attack or some kind of hard experience. And sometimes plant medicine can be hard, and this is where all the bad trip stories come from. They challenge your ego. They challenge the story that you've been telling yourself and everybody around you. Some people resist that. I think that you should go into plant medicine if you choose to do it with a guide or a sitter or a therapist or something, so that they can do this for you in a structured way, so they could guide you on how to breathe through it, how to let go, how to just ease up, and so make sure you don't distract yourself during the ceremony. That's an important point to mention, because these can always be transformative messages and transformative experiences for people, but a lot of people have fear of having a bad trip or whatever, and it really depends on what kind of setting and intentions you have going into this. You should do this properly if you choose to do this. You should do this in a structured way. So, powerful stuff, right? I want to kind of wrap this up pretty quickly. I could tell you folks about this stuff for hours and hours. I had a lot of different journeys to kind of teach me about the different angles and elements of my life. Like, what did I want to do now for a living that would make me happier, that would make me not want to run and numb from my feelings in the first place? Feelings. Let's talk about that for a second. It taught me how to process my feelings in a healthy way. I think a lot of us in today's day and age, especially men, are taught to shut out our feelings, suppress our feelings. They're not going to make you money. They're going to make you weak, whatever. I learned that is so toxic and totally nonsense. Life is all about feelings. We do everything for a feeling, whether we admit it or not. Go to work, get money, so we can have security, well-being, happiness. We buy things so that it could give us a feeling. So why would we numb our feelings and then try to buy our feelings back? That's kind of backwards thinking, I learned now. So the more that you can sit with and process and analyze your negative feelings without running from them, the deeper into the good feelings in life you can go, I learned. You want to learn with curiosity and not judgment about your feelings. Plant medicine, like mushrooms and ayahuasca, really teach you about compassion too, forgiveness, all these spiritual things, letting go of anger, letting go of the past, having compassion for yourself, having compassion for people that may or may not have treated you the best. Seeing it always shows you a higher perspective instead of being a victim to that. And now that's keeping me from being the best version. It's going to say, hey, that made you stronger. That's going to help you be a better version. Now, no struggle in life can take you down because you've been through it. It's going to be a voice on your shoulder that will be marvelous. That's why I think microdosing really is a powerful tool, in a sense that it is kind of like the little guy on your shoulder that has a higher understanding of things and will remind you throughout your day. A lot of people find success with microdosing. I did it for a bit too because during my day-to-day life, you would often go back to your bad habits and bad patterns. So microdosing kind of helps you remember, hey, do you remember what you learned about on that larger plant medicine experience? We're going to let go of anger now. Oh, yeah, thanks. Higher realized self. So it's a good thing. Right now, I want to talk about legality and stuff like that. I think it is so crazy and so harmful and so limiting to the individual and the collective and the planet, and how this stuff is kept a secret and not used as medicine. There should be therapy centers everywhere. Everybody should have access to this. I know I've even had a vision and a journey on psychedelics about this, that humanity can thrive. We can all create the reality of our dreams, but we have got to work together. Unity is another common thing of psychedelics. Letting go of just the me, mine, the ego. It teaches you about the ego. It's funny because a lot of hippies and stuff that are into psychedelics and stuff often are also into Buddhism and Hinduism and meditation and yoga and stuff for a reason, because that medicine steers you onto that path. It's all about oneness. It teaches you about that. It teaches you to bring oneness into your relationships, into your life, into how you view the world. And then that could help you just feel better. Feeling is the guiding system it teaches you about. Not analytical thinking, not fear-based thinking. It teaches you how to let go of fear, let go of worry, let go of anxiety, and use your intuition, use your heart. I never even knew what love was or connected to heart. I never said I love you. We didn't say I love you and anything like that in my household as a kid. We didn't do hugs or nothing like that, right? It was a really rigid kind of environment. Now I'm all about it. It's great. It's awesome, right? We have a heart. We can be more heart-centered. Cool, right? I want to bring... this is kind of one of my driving intentions to make this video. I can't keep quiet about this stuff anymore. This stuff saved my life. It saves many people's life. Many people close to me. People that I have worked with. Transformative stuff. So don't take my word for it. Research it online. There's centers around the world where people will go see traditional shamans, ayahuasca shamans or mushroom shamans. You could go to South America and book a retreat at a retreat center if you want it done, where they have doctors and nurses on site. If you want this done in a structured and safe environment, those options are available to you. I didn't have that kind of money or whatever, so I kind of took the risky route, you know, but it shouldn't have to be a risk for healing. People shouldn't have. It's sad that the pharmaceutical companies have really capitalized on keeping natural medicines away from humanity. And we can't do this anymore if we all want to thrive. So my name is Louis. I really hope anybody got something positive or of value from this message. I want this stuff to be legal. I want it to be accessible to everybody. And I want you folks to know that it can really help revolutionize your mental health. People with schizophrenia, depression, bipolar tendencies, body image disorders, anger issues, addiction to alcohol, cigarettes, scrolling the internet, junk food, all kinds of stuff. If you feel the calling, because it really is a calling, go. I'm not telling you what to do, but follow your internal guidance system on this one. Please do. Many thanks. Louis here from Inner Sun Integrative Wellness, a business that I came up with because now I'm on an intention. This is what drives me now in life, and mushrooms guided me towards this. I can love what I do and make money doing it. Well, we all can. Life doesn't have to be a drag. So let's learn about how to do that. Let's bring this awareness to everybody. Peace, everybody. Have a great week. Like this video if you appreciated it. Share it. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.